Hi everyone, my name is Gabriela Perez and I'm an educator here at the Bruce Museum. I am pleased to bring to you today Digital Bruce Beginnings, a program for children ages 3 through 5 and their caregivers. Today's theme is all about landscapes. We will visit an exhibition, read a book, and talk about some imaginative play and hands-on activities you and your adult can do at home. I hope you enjoyed today's program. Before we get started, I'm going to give you a quick overview of our current exhibition, She Sweeps with Many Colored Brooms, Paintings and Prints by Emily Mason. Emily Mason was an American abstract painter and printmaker whose art resulted in a rare alliance between spontaneity and premeditation. This exhibition showcases her earliest experiments in oil on paper and in printmaking. Mason's early paintings in oil on paper and early prints illuminate a lifetime devoted to creative spontaneity and richly demonstrate the subtle, complex, and beautiful aesthetic that was distinctly Mason's own.
I love you. Hey yo. I love you.
Today we will learn about landscapes, and landscapes are images of an area of land. These images can be photographs, drawings, and paintings like the ones we see here in this exhibition. I will now show you an example of a landscape. This painting is titled Etruscan Valley, and it was painted by Emily Mason while traveling around the world. We see Mason drawing inspiration from the world around her and using very sandy and dirt-like colors to create a beautiful landscape. A landscape normally has horizontal lines that go left to right, where the sky meets the land or sea. And in this case, the horizontal line is a bit bumpy to emphasize a sense of place. There are three key elements to a landscape. Landscapes have a background, a middle ground, and a foreground. The background of an image gives some context to the scene and is the furthest away from the viewer. The foreground of an image is where objects are larger and closest to the viewer, while the middle ground is all that is in between the background and the foreground. In the painting I previously showed you, where are the colors the brightest? Where are they the dullest? What part of the painting is the most detailed? Pause this video, explore the painting, and discuss your findings with your adult. I will see you back here in just a moment. Were you able to take a closer look at the painting? Did you find the brightest colors in the background, the middle ground, or the foreground? Where did you find the dullest? Now that we have learned about landscapes, let's read a book about an imaginary journey that takes us through different landscapes. And the title of today's book is A River, written by Marc Martin. There is a river outside my window. From where I sit, I can see it stretching into the distance in both directions. Sometimes I imagine myself floating along the river, swept away in a silver boat towards the horizon. Where will it take me? It goes through the city, under bridges, and past the speeding cars that zoom by, in an endless stream of busyness. It flows beside the factories with their machines grinding and plumes of smoke rising into the sky. It carries me past the farms and animals. It moves beyond the fields that look like giant patchwork quilts. It slides into the hills and valleys, and I can hear the murmuring of running water. That grows louder and takes me tumbling down a waterfall taller than any building. The river flows into the jungle, and I can hear lots of animals, gibbons, bats, and all kinds of birds. Deep in the jungle, it's very dark, and I can feel many eyes watching me. And as I sail through the mangroves, the river opens up and takes me to the ocean. It's windier now, and the air smells of salt and seaweed. I peer over the edge of my boat, and I see many fishes swimming in and out of the light. When I look up, I see clouds moving, and it begins to rain. And it's difficult to see where I am, but I can hear raindrops on a window. And as the clouds clear, I'm sitting in my room again, looking through those raindrops on the glass and gazing out across the sleeping city. And I think I see my silver boat floating in the moonlight drifting past my window once more. That was a great book. It included many of the things we talked about. Which landscape did you like the most? If you could, would you plan a trip to visit that location? Now that we have visited one of the museum's exhibitions and read a book, let's talk about some activities you and your adult can do together to stretch your minds and imaginations. For our first activity, I would like for you to think of a place you really enjoy visiting or would like to visit. It could be a place such as a beach, a park, or even a forest. Once you've decided on your location, create a landscape out of construction paper. I created this landscape by taking torn pieces of construction paper and layering them just like Mason's painting. Another activity you and your adult can do is look up images of landscapes and discuss what you see in the background, middle ground, and foreground. What do you see in the distance? What objects are closest to you? For our last activity, with your adult, play a special version of I Spy Landscape. Look out your window and take note of all the different objects and things you see in the background, middle ground, and foreground. Make sure you describe what colors, shapes, or sizes the objects you see are to your adult. Thank you for participating in Digital Bruce Beginnings. If you would like to share with us what you've created during this program, with your adult's permission, upload your image using our hashtag #BruceMuseum. For more digital content from the Bruce Museum, please visit our website www.brucemuseum.org. Bye, friends!